guys, I'm Amy. I feel guided to come on and do a reading for the Divine Feminine Collective that is in no contact. So today I was feeling guided to just use the Goddess Oracle for this reading. Okay, so Spirit, what goddess should this collective be focusing on right now? What goddess should this collective be focusing on right now, Spirit? And more, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so we're going to start with Bridget. Inspiration. Okay, Bridget is on pages 38, 39, and 40, so those numbers could be relevant for you. Inspiration, let me come to you through the mist, through the fire, through the plants, through the deep flowing wells, with ideas, visions, words, music beyond the tips of your ears. Let me move you, enliven you, stimulate you, till your perspective shifts and your mind, body, spirit explodes, and you're left standing in the wake of what has been revealed, and life feels very sweet. Bridget, which means bright, is a Celtic triple goddess of fire, the fire of inspiration, smithcraft, poetry, healing, and divination. Her inspiration was vital to the Bard's poets who called upon her freely. Legend says that Bridget was born with a flame reaching out from the top of her head, connecting her with the universe. The new Christian and the old pagan Bridget were merged into Saint Bridget in AD 450. Saint Bridget, daughter of a druid, was a goldsmith and healer. 19 priestesses, nuns, guard her sacred fire in Kildare, Ireland. On the 20th of each month, it is said she appears and tends to herself. Bridget comes to ignite you with inspiration. Are you feeling a lack of direction, motivation, energy? Has your path gone out of focus? Your life become unclear? Are you yearning for something but can't quite put your finger on it? It's time to nurture wholeness by taking in the sparkle and crackle of inspiration. Bridget says a life without the fire inspiration is dull indeed. She further counsels that by allowing inspiration to nurture your life, you become sharper, clearer, and more energetic. Okay, next we have Hestia, Hearth and Home. Okay, Hestia is on pages 82, 83, and 84. Those numbers could be relevant for you. I am what's at the core, the indescribable, the elusive, the living presence that inhabits and transforms a building, a dwelling, an edifice, taking it from the realm of marble, stone, or wood, and with its hearth firelit, making it a home. Hestia is so ancient a goddess that she's invoked by simply lighting a fire in your hearth. She was central to civilization because she represented the center of the home, the community, the town, the city. No meal could be eaten without her. for she was the very fire that transformed the ingredients into nourishment. Conscripted into the Olympian pantheon, eldest goddess Hestia gave up her seat and went to tend the hearth so the new god of ecstasy and wine, Dionysus, could be seated. Hestia's come to tend her hearth fire in your life and tell you it is time to focus on home. Whether you're living alone, with your family, or with friends, it's time to make your home a priority. Perhaps you're living in a house that's not your home, or with people you don't want to live with. Perhaps your home is filled with so many others that you have no space for your own. Perhaps your life is such a busy whirlwind that your dwelling is not your home, merely a place to change clothes and sleep. Now is the time to come home. Hestia says that wholeness is nurtured when you learn to come home to yourself and then to create the appropriate physical manifestation, a home that will nurture you. Absolutely beautiful. Next we have Maya, illusion. Okay, and this page is 117, 118, 119. So those numbers could be relevant for you. Illusion. What is it about me that's so hard to grasp? I dance the universal energy, always moving, always active. You can never see me as I am veiled, and that veil is a byproduct of what I do, who I am. Go deeper. Don't get caught in the magnificence of my creativity. My creation is the illusion behind which lies the knowledge that all matter is energy, and all energy is one. The Hindus and Buddhists of India worship Maya as the material universe or mother of creation, weaver of the web of life, and as illusion. She's the virgin or made part of the three-part Kali, the three aspects being Virgin Mother and Crone. Maya is also worshipped in Nepal, Tibet, Asia, and the Himalayas. Her special attributes are intelligence, creativity, water, and magic. Here, she's depicted like lifting the veils of earthly form to reveal the true nature of the universe. Maya moves subtly in your life to tell you to face your illusion. It's time to see what is so, what is true, what is real. Are you caught in a particular situation and can't seem to move because it's hard to see clearly? Were you dazzled by what a certain reality seemed to offer you and now discover nothing there? Have you been listening to the words people speak rather than what's behind the words? Maya says it's easy to get caught up in the illusion. Wholeness is nurtured when you accept where you are and forgive yourself. Become aware of the illusion, then consciously lift the veils to experience the reality. Seeing the reality behind the illusion is what brings you power. Yeah, that's a very powerful moment. Now we have Kali, fear. And Kali has been one of my goddesses for well over a year now. Okay, I am the dance of death that's behind all life, the ultimate horror, the ultimate ecstasy. I am existence. I am the dance of destruction that will end this world, the timeless void, the formless devouring mouth. I am rebirth. Let me dance you to death. Let me dance you to life. Will you walk through your fears to dance with me? Will you let me cut off your head and drink your blood? Then will you cut off mine? Will you face all the horror, all the pain, all the sorrow, and say yes? I'm all that you dread, all that terrifies. I am your fears. Will you meet me? Kali, the Hindu triple goddess of creation, preservation, and destruction, is the animating force of Shiva, the destroyer. She's the insatiable hunger of time that births, then devours. Skulls, cemeteries, and blood are all associated with her worship. Kali's energy is uncontrollable. After killing 2 demons, she got drunk on their blood and began dancing on their dead flesh. She danced herself into a frenzy until she realized she almost danced Shiva to death. Kali has begun her dance in your life to tell you it's time to face your fears. All that's lurking ominously, either buried deep in your inner darkness or close by, needs to be stared in the eye and brought into the light of consciousness. Are your fears serving you by warning you about dangerous places, things, or people? Or do your fears prevent you from dancing your dance, living your life, creating with creation? Kali comes to tell you that your dance is needed as part of the whole dance of creation. Wholeness is nurtured when you reclaim the pieces of yourself that you've given over to fear. Most fears are formless. By naming and witnessing the fear, you gain power. Wholeness is created when you learn to acknowledge your fears and walk through them. Beautiful. Okay, next we have Kotluku, grief. Okay, this is on pages 47, 48, 49, and 50. Those numbers could be relevant for you. With my head heavy with loss and my eyes blinded by tears, I wander, unable to rest, unable to find ease. I'm dry, my bones are dust in the desert sun. My heart ripped out lies broken on the ground. Each step I take in living tramples it anew. Each breath I take in living ruptures my wounds. How can I hear the unbearable? How can I survive the unsurmountable? Will my sorrow ever end? Will my loss ever be filled? Will my longing ever cease? Koalaku, or serpent skirt, is mother of the Aztec deities. She gets her name because she wears a skirt made of swinging rattlesnakes. She's worshipped as Earth Mother and Life and Death Mother. She found some white plumed feathers one day and placing them on her breast became pregnant. When the other gods, her children, discovered her pregnancy, they swore to kill her to keep her new offspring from supplanting them. Only her beloved daughter, the moon goddess, warned her mother. Okay, the daughter was decapitated by the sun god, and grieving Coatlicue placed her daughter's luminous head in the sky. Coatlicue is here to help bring you face to face with your grief. She's here to tell you that there's no way around grief. There's no place you can hide from grief. The way to wholeness lies in going through your grief. Have you been afraid to face the pain that accepting grief and going through the grief process will bring? Have you been hiding from grief, pretending you're really okay? Perhaps you fear the grief is so great that you will remain in it for the rest of your life. Have you done some of your grieving, but not all of it, so that it catches you unaware in odd moments? Perhaps you're staying in a situation you need to leave, but fear the grief that leaving would engender. It is imperative for your healing process that you grieve. It's time to wail and keen and moan. It's time to ask for support from friends and family. Life is about loss, and loss is a part of life. The seasons change, and all is in a state of transition. Even grief, if fully faced, will finally lessen. In time, you will feel stronger and more alive. One day, your wounds will fade to scars. Remember that your process takes as long as it needs to take, and everyone's time of grief is different. Coelho tells you to feel the grief so the healing can come. Okay, so make sure you're not numbing any grief that you're having. Make sure you allow yourself to feel it so that you can then release it. Okay, next we have Corn Woman. And this is on pages 50, 51, 52, and 53. Nourishment. I give you my breast, the earth, and suckle you with corn and grain, plants and animals and fish, all to sustain you, all to feed you, all to nourish you. The great giveaway, my love for you, the food so you will live, prosper, and grow from my breast, the earth, because I love you. Southwestern Indigenous, Aboriginals, and Pueblo peoples, the Arikara, Pawnee, Cheyenne, Mandan, Adasta, Abenaki, Cherokee, and Huron see corn as a goddess. Corn Woman encompasses the figures of Corn Mother, the Corn Maidens, and Yellow Woman. They all relate to corn as a sacred being who gives of herself to her people to sustain them and nourish them. The Arikara, creator god Nasaru, fashioned Corn Mother from an ear of corn which grew in heaven. Corn Mother then came to earth and taught people how to honor the deities and to plant corn. Corn Woman brings her love for you in the form of food to tell you it is a time to nourish yourself. Eating is a sacred act. Something living dies and you take it in, whether you kill the animals you eat with your own hands or buy your vegetables in the supermarket. Part of being human means causing death in order to live. To treat the act of eating as a chore, as something to be feared or avoided, is to denigrate the gift of love from Corn Woman and the plants and the animals. Do you fear food? Does just looking at food make you feel like you are gaining weight? Are you too busy, too stressed, too involved with more important things than nourishing yourself? Do you nourish others but not yourself? Do you have a love-hate relationship with food? Corn Woman says that eating is one of the most basic acts of self-nourishment and that the way to wholeness for you lies in coming into right relationship with food. Okay, next we have Hecate, Crossroads. Okay, Hecate is pages 78, 79, 80, and 81. Those numbers could be relevant for you. I sit at the blackness of the dark moon night with my hounds at the crossroads, where three roads converge at the crossroads, the place of choice. All paths lead to the crossroads and all are desirable, but only one can you travel. Only one can you choose. Choice creates endings, and all beginnings come from endings. At the crossroads, which one will you choose? Which way will you go? Which? Though the choice is yours, here's a secret I'll share. The way to choose is to enter the void. The way to choose is to let die. The way to choose is to fly free. Hecate is considered by some to be a Thracian moon goddess, and by others to be an ancient pre-Greek goddess of midwives, birth, fertility, the dark of the moon, magic, wealth, education, ceremonies, and the underworld. Worshipped at the places where three roads crossed, she would walk abroad on nights when the moon was dark, attended by a pack of hounds. People honored her by leaving offerings at the crossroads. As crone, she also formed a triad with Persephone and Demeter. Hecate meets you at the crossroads when you must make a choice. Times of choice are not easy times. The challenges presented by choice necessitate a leap of faith from the person doing the choosing. Hecate says to let go of the idea that there are wrong or right choices. There is just choice. Have you been putting off making a choice because it seems to be too overwhelming or a no-win situation? Does the choice bring up fear of the unknown? Does it seem better and or easier to remain with what you know? Sometimes a choice must be made, yet you're not ready in such cases. The way to nurture wholeness is to acknowledge where you are and let it go. Trust that you will be able to make a choice. When the time is right, give yourself time and space. Don't press, berate, or blame yourself. You need nourishment here. When you let go, suddenly clarity comes to show you what you need. Hecate urges you to embrace the unknown. Know that whatever you choose will bring you something invaluable that you can use on your path to wholeness. Absolutely beautiful message there. And yeah, Hecate has definitely been one of my deities for a while now. Hecate and Kali, Lilith. Okay, I had to get a drink. That's a lot of reading. Next we have Maeve, which is responsibility. Love that full moon there. With the birds in front of it. Okay, this is on pages 113, 114, 115, and 116. Those numbers could be relevant for you. I am a warrioress of the heart. I am queen of the domain of myself. I'm able to respond in all situations from the knowledge of who I am. My actions are who I am. My beliefs are who I am. All I do is who I am. That which is outside of me stays outside of me. That which I choose to let in, I own and acknowledge. How can you be responsible if you do not own all aspects of yourself? How can you be accountable without being queen over your own domain? How can you serve your consort, your children, your community, if you're unwilling to acknowledge and answer for yourself? Maeve, whose name means intoxicating, was associated with Ireland and represented the land's sovereignty in its magical center, Tara. Over time, she became diminished to Maeve, the queen, who could outrun horses, confer with birds, and bring men into the heat of desire with a mere look. In the Irish epic, the Táin Bó Cúailnge, Maeve argues with her king over who has the most wealth, since in Celtic custom, the wealthier one of the partnership is the ruler. He won because he had a magical bull. She decided to steal a magical red bull for herself. After much battle and bloodshed, Maeve won the red bull. However, when the two bulls met, they ripped each other to shreds. Maeve strides boldly into your life to challenge you with the task of taking responsibility for your life. It's time for you to become queen of your domain by becoming aware of, then accountable for all that you do, all that you are, and all that you believe. Are there places within you that seem as uncertain as uncharted waters? Do you seem to live your life on automatic as if you've been programmed by someone else? Perhaps you've been drifting along in a particular situation instead of finding out if this is the best place for you. Or you're not willing to own your pieces, to acknowledge what you have done to help create the situation or relationship you're now in. Maeve is here to remind you that the way to wholeness is by taking responsibility for your life, whatever shape it is in. For only by taking responsibility, by acknowledging where you are, who you are, what you are, can you create something different. Okay, and the final message is Minerva beliefs. Here we go. Minerva's on pages 120, 121, and 122, so those numbers could be relevant for you. I am what I think. My life is shaped and formed by what I tell myself. Who I am in the world is who I think I am. What I have in the world is what I think I can have. The contents of my mind are what I choose. I discard, cut out, drop that which doesn't contribute. What others believe about me is their story. It tells more about what they think than who I am. In my journey, I make sure that what I carry is of my own careful choosing and serves me well. Minerva, the Roman and Etruscan goddess of intelligence, creativity, wisdom, domestic skills, and handicrafts, was the patroness of artisans, of all people whose handiwork was guided by their minds. Her very name came from the ancient root for mind. Minerva appears here with her sacred tree, the owl. She wears an aegis, which is a breastplate edged with snakes, and an owl on her headdress, which identifies her as the goddess of death and the deepest mysteries. Minerva has come to tell you it's time to examine your beliefs and change them if they do not nurture your wholeness. How are old, outworn, unhealthy thoughts undermining your life, your energy, your happiness? Do you believe what other people think and or say about you? Are you still running the tape of negative messages your parents or caregivers gave you when you were a child? Do you believe the worst about yourself or the best? Are your beliefs too rigid to permit and support your evolution? We are all born with a story. It's our choice whether we want to live the story we were born with or create one that nourishes all we want to be. Minerva says that wholeness is nurtured when you see yourself with all of your parts, both dark and light, and choose your beliefs to serve your highest good. Absolutely beautiful message. I absolutely love this. I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.